So here's one final idea about beaver dams and beaver ponds. Again, I'm still on that beaver dam on James Brook, and this brook flows down into Little Parker Pond. Little Parker Pond is one of the surface water drinking sources for the town of Jay and Livermore Falls. So this water is actually going to be eventually consumed by people. And this beaver dam here acts like a settling pond. It creates a pool of water behind it, and you can look real carefully here. I think you can see this. In the water is my bait trap, and the water is just really super clear. And that's because as the water flows downstream, it comes to here and it stops and it settles out. And as the water settles, it loses the sediment that it picked up back when it was fast flowing. And so settling out that sediment, remember phosphorus, which is the thing that causes algal blooms in lakes and bodies of water, comes from soil. And if we can let that soil or sediment settle out of the water, that protects our water quality from algal blooms. And this kind of a thing is called an ecosystem service. An ecosystem service is when an ecosystem provides something that can be used by people. And in this case, the service that it provides is water filtration. This pond acts as a settling pond and improves the water quality. So when this water eventually makes it down to Little Parker Pond, the water's a little cleaner, and it makes it easier for us to filter and provide for drinking water. One negative of having beavers in your watershed is that beavers can often carry what's called giardia. And giardia is a protozoan that's in the water, and it will make people very sick. It actually causes diarrhea that's really bad. Sometimes if you get giardia, it's called beaver fever because it's been associated with beavers, but it's also associated with ducks and waterfowl. So the water district, when they filter the water, they need to make sure they clean anything like that out before it comes to our drinking supply. And they use a little tiny bit of chlorine to make sure that any of our water that goes to consumers is fit for human consumption. We call that potable water. Potable water is water that you can drink. No matter how clean water is, you would never want to drink it untreated because it could contain pathogens like giardia. So the beaver pond gives us an ecosystem service. It helps provide water filtration and helps clarify the water. And oh, by the way, out west, they actually build things called beaver log analogs, which are fake beaver dams, and they create these fake beaver ponds to replicate the work that beaver used to do before their populations dropped due to trapping.